Okay, so today we talked about piecewise functions and being able to evaluate a given variable at a certain point on the graph. So remember, piecewise functions means that there are pieces of the function, and it's a different function for one interval and a completely different function for another interval. So the main thing you have to do here is you have to figure out the x value that you're trying to substitute in, which interval does it fall under. So in number 1, we have two equations. We have one when x is less than 0, and we have one when x is greater than or equal to 0. So our first letter A wants to know when f of negative 2 is occurring. Negative 2 falls under the less than 0, so we are going to use this one to evaluate. So we're going to do 3 times negative 2, because our x value is negative 2, and plus 5. So that's equal to negative 1. F of 0 occurs when x is equal to 0, which is the second equation. So we're going to do 4 times 0 plus 7, which is going to be 7. F of 3 occurs when it's greater than 0, so that's the bottom equation. So 4 times 3 plus 7 is going to be 19. The next function, f of negative 3 occurs at the top equation, so 6 times negative 3 minus 1 is going to be negative 19. 0 occurs at the second equation, so f7 times 0 plus 3 is going to be 3. And 4 occurs at the bottom equation, so we are going to do 7 times 4 plus 3, which is 14. I was adding, just kidding. Which is 31. G of 0. 0 occurs when x is greater than or equal to negative 3, which is the top equation. So we're going to do 0 plus 3, which is 3. Negative 6 occurs less than negative 3. So we're going to do negative 6 plus 3. So just copy it exactly the way you see it, where the x is put a negative 6. So this is negative 3, and then we want to take a negative of that, which is going to become positive 3. For the next one, we've got g of negative 3. So that's when it's equal to, which is the top equation. So negative 3 plus 3 gives me 0. On number 4, h of 5. 5 occurs when it's not equal to 3. So it's either 3 or not 3. This is not 3. So we're going to do 5 squared minus 9 divided by 5 minus 3. So 25 minus 9 is 16, and 16 divided by 2 is equal to 8. H of 0 is not 3, so 0 squared minus 9 divided by 0 minus 3. So this is going to be negative 9 over negative 3, which is going to be equal to positive 3. And h of 3, this is actually when it's equal to 3, so the answer is just 6, because that's what it's supposed to be at 3. Number 5. F of negative 3, so that occurs when x is less than 1, so that's the top equation. So negative 1/2 times negative 3 squared. So 9, that's going to be negative 9/2. Okay, a half times 9 is negative 9, or negative 1/2 times 9 is negative 9/2. F of 1 is going to occur when it's equal to 1, that's the bottom equation. So 2 times 1 plus 1, which is 3. F of 3 is when it's greater than or equal to 1, that's the bottom equation. So 2 times 3 plus 1 is 7. Number 6, f of negative 4, that's when it's less than or equal to 0, so that's the top equation. So 2 times negative 4, which is negative 8. 0 is equal to 0, that's again the top equation, so that's going to be 0. And 8 is when it's greater than 0, so the answer is just 2. There's nothing to evaluate on that one. Number 7, negative 2 is when it's equal to, so that's the bottom equation. So negative 2 minus 3 becomes negative 5. 0 is when it's when it's greater than or equal to negative 2, so that's again the bottom equation. So 0 minus 3 is negative 3. And 4 is when it's greater than or equal to -2. So that's again the bottom equation. So that's going to be 4 minus 3, which is 1. And number 8, -4 is going to happen when it's less than or equal to 0, which is the top equation. So 1/2 times -4, which is -2. 0 is when it's equal to 0. That's the top equation again. So 1/2 times 0, which is 0. And 5 is when it's greater than 0, so it's just going to be 3. Pretty simple. And we're done.